Hey everyone, or should I say hello squirrel friends, as our own RuPaul would say. I am making this video to post my predictions for who will be on the new season of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 2. Just recently, RuPaul announced that he's going to be doing another season of All-Stars, which I am so excited about. I think Drag Race is such a revolutionary show. It's really changed how a lot of people look at drag, and it's really brought a lot of people out into the spotlight that probably wouldn't have had that opportunity without being on the show. And I always tell everyone at work, even if you don't care for drag queens, if you don't understand drag queens, if you don't understand what the difference between a transsexual, what a drag queen is, what a transgender is, you will love this show. This show is pure entertainment, and the people on the show are very, very, very talented. So, with saying that, this list is my predictions of who I think will be on the show, as well as a combination of who I would like to be on the show. Um, I think it's a little bit harder this season to decide because the first All Stars, they really did pick a big bulk of the girls who people really loved on the show. But now that there's been three more seasons since, I think this is going to be really interesting. I think it's going to be some very interesting choices being made. So, in no particular order, my first pick. Oh, I'm picking 14 girls. I'm thinking they're going to have 14 on the show, so that's what I'm going with. Um, my first pick is Miss Victoria Porkchop Parker. Porkchop was the first one booted off the show, back when it had that lovely filter, and I think Porkchop really didn't get a good chance. I mean, I watched the lost season when they aired it, and I mean, yeah, I probably did think Porkchop was the weakest, but Porkchop is a very, very strong drag queen. I actually was first introduced to Porkchop when I watched the movie Pageant on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's just like Miss America, but with drag queens. So, I mean, come on. He was on it, and he was fantastic. He does a lip sync version of I'm Telling You I'm Not Going that will just blow your socks off. So, I'm really hoping that RuPaul brings Victoria Porkchop back. I think that it would be a really good thing to do. This is the first person that got kicked off of the show, and here they are coming back for All Stars. And Victoria Porkchop, okay, Porkchop, stop calling her Victoria. Porkchop is an exceptional drag queen, and I think being on All Stars would be a really, really great opportunity for for more people to see what Porkchop can do. The next random person I'm picking here is one of my favorites, Alaska, who was at first known as Sharon Needles' boyfriend. Sharon Needles, the winner of season 4, but I think Alaska really came into her own on the show and made it to the finale of the 5th season, and I really think should have taken it all. Sorry, Jinx Monsoon. But I really enjoy Alaska. I think she is just hilarious. I love that kind of yeah, sense of humor, and of course we all can't forget who introduced us to Hi. So I think Alaska is a dead ringer to be on All Stars for sure. Another person I would love to see on this show is Tatiana. Those of you who might not remember Tatiana, she was on season 2, and she was the one that was kind of like, everyone thought of her just as the pretty girl, not the drag queen, not the entertainer, but she did make it to the top 4, and I thought Tatiana was pretty memorable and one of the most beautiful drag queens ever to be on the show, which, I don't like to think of beauty as being the only thing that matters on the show at all, but I mean, it is an important part, I think, in the whole performance that you're giving. So I think Tatiana would be another great choice. My next pick is from the most recent season, a big favorite of mine, Miss Katya. I loved Katya. I thought he was so crass, vulgar. I loved the Russian accent that he used to always put off. I don't know if he's really Russian. I'm pretty sure on the show he said he wasn't. But he did a great job, just making such fun of it. And I loved Katya. And if you guys haven't seen the finale of the new season, spoiler alert, I loved it at the end when he goes, the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race is Katya. Will you bring me a glass of water? I just thought that was so perfect. One of the many reasons why I love RuPaul, and one of the many reasons why I love Katya. So I think she needs to definitely be in this season. Another person I'm hoping to see on here is Detox. Detox was from the 5th season, and I really enjoyed Detox. I liked his take on drag. It was kind of a more, almost like an androgynous version. He kind of reminded me of like a updated version of Raven, even though Raven's without a doubt one of my absolute favorites on the show. I really like Detox, great sense of humor, and he really made that season very competitive, I think, with him being there. My next person that I would really like to see, I'm going to have RuPaul introduce this person for me. So, Ru, take it away.
Ivy Winters!
Yes, Ivy Winters. I thought Ivy Winters was probably one of the most creative people on the show. It's people like Ivy Winters on the show that make me so impressed when I see what these queens can do in a matter of minutes. I mean, he was so creative and innovative and really pushed the limit. And I was very, very surprised when Ivy Winters got sent home. I thought she was a great queen. Definitely one of the worst decisions, I think, when it came to eliminations on the show. My next choice is probably going to be a bit of a... Oh, I'm sorry, Brando's upset. He's coming down here. Here, for just 1 second.
Come here, Brando.
I know I keep bringing him in these videos. I have to stop. I can't help it. He's too cute. So my next choice for this would be Miss Mariah. Mariah was from the 3rd season and actually didn't make it too far. I believe she came in 9th place, and she kind of fizzled for me when she tried to portray Joan Crawford, and I think she horrified Mommy Dearest fans all over the country when she gave probably the worst Joan Crawford impression I've ever seen. However, I think it's fair to say Mariah was one of the most polished, one of the most exotic queens I've seen on the show, and I really wish that they would have given Mariah another chance. So hopefully they will this time with All Stars. My next pick for this show is someone that I know Brando likes, and that is Miss Adore Delano. And I think Adore is one of the most memorable queens on this show, and I loved it that he made it all the way to the finale in his season 6, I believe, because I did not think that was going to happen for him. We all know him as the hog body and the girl that likes to party, but I think that Adore definitely needs to be on this season. Oh, he doesn't want to be in the camera anymore. Hold on 1 second. I definitely think that Adore needs to be in this season. I think she would add a lot of fun, a lot of drama to the show, and I think she's probably going to be my prediction to win. I think, because I think it's a given that Adore's going to be on there. She'd be fantastic. The next person I'm putting on here is Miss Ginger Minge from the most recent season, and if you don't remember too much about Ginger Minge, I'm sure this will help.
All I want is sex! All I want is sex!
I think Ginger Minge is one of the campiest, one of the funniest queens to ever be on this show, and I was so disappointed when Ginger Minge didn't win. Now, I don't watch RuPaul's Untucked. I don't get Logo, so I usually have to wait for RuPaul's Drag Race to come on Amazon for me to watch it. And I've heard that Ginger Minge was very kind of bitchy and dramatic and mean on Untucked, so maybe that played into why Ginger Minge didn't win. I know my boyfriend was a huge Violet Chachki fan, so he was happy, but I'm definitely hoping to see Ginger Minge make a comeback this season. She was a huge favorite of mine. My next pick to make it on here would be Ben de la Creme, or as I like to call him, Michelle Visage 2.0. I'm not the biggest fan of Ben de la Creme, but I really think Ben de la Creme will be on this season. She was a very memorable queen, and a lot of people were upset when she got sent home. My next pick that's going to be on here is Miss Courtney Act, or as I like to say, Courtney Act. Definitely one of the most beautiful queens, and I think the thing that I remember most about Courtney Act was her outfits. She had some of the best, most vibrant, exuberant outfits that I just adored on the show. I don't necessarily think she is a drag queen entertainer per se. I think she's more of a supermodel of the world, but I think Courtney Act, I'm very positive Courtney Act is going to be on the show. I just get that vibe that that's going to happen. My next pick, I don't know if people are going to be excited or like, okay, is Miss Shangela. I was very surprised to not see Shangela on the first All-Stars, so I'm really expecting Shangela to come to this season. I think that she's a good example of a queen that came to the show with little experience, but because of the show, gained a lot of experience. I've seen Shangela on television, and I mean, she's funny. I like Shangela a lot. I think she's a great queen, and I think her comedian act as Latifah Quadrifa Watley, I think it was, is one of the most memorable moments on the show. My next pick, I only have 2 left. My next pick is going to be someone from this most recent season again. It is Trixie Mattel. Now, I know a lot of people flipped their shit when Trixie Mattel got sent home the first time. Now, I didn't think Trixie Mattel was super funny. She always said she was like this big comedy clown queen, but I just never got it too much from her. When she came back, I liked her a little bit more. But I still I'm not sure if she got her chance really to show what she can do, so I really think they will bring her back again. And I think it'd be a good story for the show to, you eliminated this queen, brought her back, she went home again, bringing her back for All Stars. I think that would be a really good storyline for the show, so I can definitely see Trixie Mattel making another comeback, her 3rd comeback. I don't know if she'll win, so she'll probably get told to sashay away 3 times, which I think is the record for the show, if that happens. Now, my final pick for the show. This is one of my all-time favorite queens. Love, love, love this queen. She is a beautiful, hot mess, which, I mean, you can't really expect less. Here is my final pick.
Leave me this way.
What the hell is she thinking? You can't be lifting up drag queens.
Gotcha! No, it is not Mimi on First. Sadly, I do not expect anyone from the previous All-Stars to come back, even though Mimi on First coming back would be amazing. I love Mimi on First. I know I'm probably the minority on this one, but Mimi on First is one of my favorites. Anyway, the last queen that I think should be coming back to the show, I'm going to let her introduce herself, so here we go. Take it away.
Oh, she really came that way? All right.
She's so wild, so animal. She's gonna work that sexy body so sexual. She's like a female phenomenon. She's a glamazon, female phenomenon. Glamazon.
Pull it all in. Charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
I think this dress is beautiful.
Girl, look how orange you look, girl. Always and forever. Alyssa Edwards. Back rolls.
Yes, it's Alyssa Edwards. I think Alyssa Edwards is one of the most talented queens to come from the show. Alyssa Edwards is actually in the movie pageant that I brought up earlier about Pork Chop earlier. So, I mean, I would really check out that movie. It's a great film. But yeah, I really think it would be great to see Alyssa Edwards come back. She is like one of the wackiest, zaniest, most memorable queens. I mean, she gets quoted, I feel like, almost every episode now on RuPaul's Drag Race because she's so memorable. So I would definitely love to see Alyssa Edwards come back. So that is my list. I did want to bring up one other queen. Now, this is one who I do not think will be on All Stars. But I would love to see come back. And I think a lot of you probably already know, it's Willem. I think Willem was one of the best queens, most memorable queens on the show. I know I probably said that like how many times, but this is All Stars. Come on, they're all memorable. And I really enjoyed Willem. He was very entertaining. I know some people don't get his sense of humor or even his way of drag, but I think the way he left the show was just so trashy, and I just loved that. I mean, it was just perfect. So I would love to see Willem come back. I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately, but man, that would be some good TV, especially to get people like Willem and Adore in like the same room together. And I mean, I think that would be hilarious. So there you have it. That is my list of who I think will be on this show. Please share your opinions on who you think is going to be on this season. I am so excited. If any of you know when it's going to be starting or when they're going to announce the cast, that would be awesome. I don't get logos, so unfortunately I'm not always in the loop on RuPaul's Drag Race, what's going on, but please feel free to comment, share your opinions on what you think. I'm always interested to hear what other people think about the show. Again, I highly recommend it if you haven't watched it. It's a fantastic, entertaining show. Please subscribe, And I am done talking now, so you can relax. Thank you guys so much. Click down here, subscribe. Bye.
Nobody do it like her. She taking names and kicking ass. You shall receive. What do you need?